Hi guys, welcome to Crazy Burger. So amazingly, we are now 4 years and over into the life of Evercade, but we still haven't seen any Spectrum games. This is pretty surprising to me, given that the Spectrum home computer was really popular in the UK. Not sure how popular it was outside the UK, but I know for sure it was massive in the UK, along with obviously C64 and a little bit of Amstrad as well. We obviously have Amiga games now on Evercade, we have C64 and even got MSX game which appeared on Home Computer Heroes last year. But why haven't we had any Spectrum games? Totally confused about it. Obviously the licensing is a little bit muddled, but on the recent podcast on Retro Titans, Sean Cleaver, the marketing sort of guy at Blaze, tried to explain some of that and maybe what we could see going forward. Let's have a listen in.
Knowing that you love Spectrum as well.
Well, do you know what the weird thing is? I'm going to say completely separate from Evercade here personally. I've said this to a few people in person when I see them. I loved Spectrum growing up. It was that home computer that I had. But I also am very, very happy to not see any of the games again for it because they're so uniquely garish and difficult to play and master because of the way that it was all done. I mean, they are great, but a lot of my memories also as well of the Spectrum are versions of arcade games, which you've gone from an arcade playing Outrun to playing Outrun on the Spectrum with a yellow screen with a weird neon blue background sky, and it's like, this isn't the same. And I kind of feel I've done my time, if that makes sense, when it comes to Spectrum. But we would love to. We know the Spectrum is very, very, and from the Evercade hat on, Spectrum is a very, very key home computer in the history of gaming, much like the C64. It is something we want to bring to Evercade. It's finding the right games, the right license holders to be able to do that. As people know, the history of Spectrum over the last 10, 15 years is anything but easy and clear when it comes to a lot of those things. I would say it's unlikely that we will have a Spectrum cart this year. I will say that it is not the last home computer cart this year. There are still some things to be announced and will be announced quite soon. But don't give up hope. We are looking for Spectrum and looking to try and make Spectrum. And I think one of the first things that might well happen is that you'll find Spectrum games appear rather than a Spectrum-based cartridge. So, you know, we had great feedback and success with the Home Computer Heroes cart. We also do the bonus games and hidden games from time to time. You never know, a Spectrum one might appear.
Okay, so I think that's actually quite interesting. I think it's quite clear that we're not going to get a Spectrum cart anytime soon, but Blaze are clearly trying to make that happen. Perhaps we'll see one Spectrum game appear on the next Home Computer Heroes collection, which I think we'll get a Home Computer Heroes collection 2 this year. It could have some more Amiga games, Spectrum, MSX. Could it also include a Spectrum game? I think if the right game comes along and obviously the licensing can get sorted out and they can obviously emulate it, that could happen. Perhaps it will appear as a secret game unlockable on your EXP and VS. Time will obviously tell. Fingers crossed something happens, but a Spectrum cart seems unlikely in the short term. So this is Antstream. I've been following this for some time. This is the web version. You can also play it on your phone. You can download the version on Xbox, PlayStation, that sort of thing. But there's a lot of crossover titles on Antstream that also appear on Evercade. So sometimes it is a good indication to what we might see going forward on Evercade because it also appears on Antstream. So obviously this is a digital platform, so the sort of licensing might be a little bit different, but there is a lot of games that appear on here. There's over 1,000 now on Antstream, but a lot of them do cross over and you get the same stuff appearing on Evercade. If you look through a lot of these, quite clearly a lot are on Evercade. Now, we might even see some of these titles going forward on Evercade, on future carts, for example. There's obviously a lot of title games in here. There's even SNK games, which obviously indicates to me that we might see SNK going forward. But obviously licensing is a little bit muddled. It's totally unclear. There's even DOS titles in here. But anyway, we're looking at Spectrum. So I'm going to filter on the Spectrum titles. That's under license to Antstream at the moment. Now, I think one of the problems that of getting a Spectrum collection is what games would you pick? Much like C64 collections we have on Evercade, they're not necessarily the best games that you will remember from back in the day. So there's a lot of titles in here that look a little bit poor. I've played a few of them. Some are poor, some are not. Not all of them are sort of renowned classics. So I think that could be one of the issues. Which games do you choose? But there's definitely some reasonably decent titles in here. But yeah, there are quite a few. There's 291 Spectrum games already on AntStream. Some of them we already have the C64 version on Evercade. So obviously we're not going to get them. But there's quite a lot of titles here. And what I'm going to do is have a look through some of them. I'm going to replay some of the videos that I've done already on Spectrum, looking at some of the perhaps indie games that might even appear. But let's have a look at some of the games now.
Go.
Okay, so fingers crossed at some point we will see a Spectrum cart, but most likely it will be in the future, if at all. It is possible we could see a Spectrum game appear very soon, maybe on the Home Computer Heroes Collection too. Fingers crossed it happens. Anyway guys, let me know what are your favourite Spectrum games and what game do you think we will see if it does appear on Home Computer Heroes Collection too. Thanks for watching again, catch you again in the next one. Bye for now.